Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. The Warriors want to send Andrew Wiggins to another team, but have not found commercial partners to carry out the trade. Trade suggestion: Warriors sign LaMelo Ball. The Golden State Warriors offseason was a quiet success. Storylines naturally coagulated around Klay Thompson's departure, but Golden State won't be worse off. A well-deployed mixture of Brandon Podziemski, Buddy Hield, and DeAnthony Melton should more than adequately replace Thompson in the Warriors' rotation. If anything, as much as it strings, the Warriors may have gotten better. Addition by subtraction, as they say. Even more encouraging than Golden State's productive free agency haul, which included Melton, Hield, and Kyle Anderson, among others, were the moves Mike Dunleavy Jr. and the front office couldn't quite execute. The Warriors were at the front of the line for Paul George, but the Clippers balked on a sign-and trade in the 11th hour. Then, Golden State made a concentrated push for Lauri Markkanen before he inked his extension in Utah. Both would have profoundly improved Golden State's title odds. The Warriors are without a comparable pivot at the moment, but rest assured that all-stars can and will become available before the trade deadline. Golden State is taking this thing seriously. Stephen Curry only has so much time left in the NBA, and he's still a top 5 player. The Warriors owe it to him to build a contender. The best front offices operate on the basis of cold, hard logic, eschewing emotions to do what's best for the team. That principle has guided Golden State's mini-youth movement in recent years, and understandably so, but Steph is a once-in-a-generation talent. If you don't go all in for as long as he's on the roster, it's a failure, not to mention a letdown for those of us watching at home. So, why not circle back to the beginning of the Warriors' so-called two Timlins and right a past wrong? Remember when James Wiseman was the number 2 overall pick instead of LaMelo Ball? Logical though it seemed at the time, that decision has aged like cheese on a midsummer sidewalk. Warriors-Hornets trade to pair Stephen Curry and LaMelo Ball in Golden State backcourt. Golden State Warriors receive LaMelo Ball, Seth Curry. Charlotte Hornets receive Andrew Wiggins, Brandon Podziemski, Gary Payton II, 2 future first-round picks. Let's address the elephant in the room. Why are the Charlotte Hornets trading LaMelo Ball? It's a fair question, but this trade comes in reaction to the ongoing hypothetical link between Ball and the Warriors. This concept has been tossed around for months, mostly in reaction to the idea that Charlotte could look to retool and recenter its rebuild on Rookie of the Year runner-up Brandon Miller, last summer's number 2 pick. Miller was highly productive out of the gate for Charlotte, while Ball spent much of last season sidelined due to injury. Again, absences have piled up for Ball in the early stages of his career. He has appeared in more than 51 games once in 4 NBA seasons. He has not appeared in more than 36 games since 2021-22, which was Ball's lone All-Star campaign. Obviously, Ball can't control injuries. It sucks, and is a deeply unfortunate hurdle for such a talented prospect. The Hornets are long overdue for a breakthrough, and yes, Ball can help facilitate such an ascent. However, if Charlotte decides to stop waiting on Ball, or believes that Miller is better situated as the primary half-court creator, suddenly the door opens for a trade. Even with all the uncertainty, Ball ought to fetch a healthy return package at 22 years old. He's a singular talent, and the Warriors, clearly on the hunt for star power, should leap at the opportunity to add Ball. He is perfectly attuned to Golden State's offensive philosophy, rapid-fire decisions, constant ball movement, and a knack for transition playmaking. Ball is a point guard on paper, but he doesn't domineer possessions. He is far more inclined to get the ball out of his hands quickly and play the connective role, whipping split-second dimes from every which angle. His ability to process the floor and locate open teammates several steps in advance is utterly special, and it would probably give Steve Kerr the spark plug he needs for this New Age Warriors lineup. There are limitations to Ball's game, of course. He lacks physicality on the defensive end and he's not much of an at-rim scorer, but the deep threes, endless confidence, and team-first approach should all balance out for Golden State. The Warriors don't get him for cheap. Brandon Podziemski was the primary holdup in Markkanen talks, and I'd imagine Golden State tries to keep him out of Ball negotiations, too. But, with another guard coming back, it becomes a bit easier to stomach. This trade facilitates a more substantial role for Moses Moody, which is long overdue, and reaffirms the value of Melton, Anderson, and other recent additions. Andrew Wiggins' bad contract is a hurdle to clear, but the Hornets could value his solid 3-and-D skill set. Podziemski is an excellent building block next to Brandon Miller, while Gary Payton's expiring salary is a potential bargaining chip in future trades. Oh, and the Warriors get Seth Curry, which is a fun wrinkle and probably not necessary to greasing the wheels on this trade. Ball in a Warriors uniform would be absolutely sick. It's a shame we haven't gotten 4 years of it already.